And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That means it's time, baby, for GotBot Goes live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member. And tonight we're going to kind of cover three broad topics. We're going to cover the events of the week surrounding Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner. We're going to talk about the funding of the Haslab Victory Saber and whether or not I actually partook or not, and how I feel about it. And we're going to cover the news and notes of the week, as well as play a little bit of trivia. No unboxing this week. No unboxing. So I'm just going to get things set up here. So bear with me just a little bit, guys. Hope you're having a tremendous Thursday heading into the weekend once again. Let's see here. I gotta go over here. People still filing in. I hope you guys are having a great week. We're going to be covering a few things for sure that need to be covered, and things that people have been asking me about kind of all week. Maybe I'll put that there. Let's see here. Hey, Armor Convoy, Ultra Megatronus, happy you're here, buddy. Hey, Blue. Making a door. Can anyone join the party? I keep thinking of like the Kool-Aid Man, if you remember the Kool-Aid Man from those commercials. So we go down here a little bit. Hey, Lee. You are on time, but well, you're on time, or maybe I'm a little bit late. Am I late? Oh, I'm not that late, man. I've been later. Hey, Ken. I'm holding a shield. How's work? Work is busy, but great. Honestly, the last week or so, my class has been working real hard. We had some kind of assessments and stuff going on, so they've been working real hard. They're doing their best and adjusting, and it's amazing. The things that we kind of take for granted, like they're not used to at the age that they are. They're not used to doing quizzes, for example, so they kind of don't know the etiquette for doing a quiz. So something as simple as that is something we're having to learn as we go, so it's been an adventure, real busy, real tiring, but it has been an adventure. Hey, Tracer, I'm going to make, I think, this a little bit better for me. I'm going to go that way. Hey, input. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So first things first, I want to start the show off, even though we have a very small mountain here tonight. That's because I didn't have unboxing this time. It didn't have an unboxing, and that's what always pulls people in, right? Had a bit of a surprise happen on Tuesday. It seems that a certain big old purple Mecha Godzilla ripoff came home. I'm assuming that you mean Beast Wars Megatron, but I don't know if you mean Beast Wars Megatron. So first things first, I want to do a moment of silence, if I may, for the late Brian Goldner. We will do that to kick the show off out of respect. All right. So whenever we have somebody who is well known in our community, who is significant to the franchise that we know and love, it's only respectful that we would indeed have a moment of silence. And perhaps there are very few who have had the impact, certainly over the last 20 years or so, as Mr. Brian Goldner. For those of you who don't know, though, I think it's pretty common knowledge by now, he passed away earlier this week. He took a leave of absence in the last little while. And unfortunately, things went, not a way that people like for them to go. I have since learned, as we all have, that he had been battling pancreatic cancer since 2014. And a lot of people came out of the woodwork after his passing and said to me, well, I must be happy. No, I'm not happy. Nobody wants that. The man, I'm sure, had a family. He had friends. He had coworkers who cared very much about him. I respect that. Everybody has somebody. And if you're sitting there and thinking to yourself, I don't have anybody. Yes, you do. You got me. If you're here, you got me. Um, I had been saying for a long time that I wanted a change, that a change was needed, and that I thought that his focus as the company as a whole was somewhat misguided, and I still stand by that. I think a change was needed, but not this way. A retirement, a different job, just fresh blood, so to speak. Kind of bring in fresh ideas. And I do think that there has to be within that company more creative ideas than just price hikes all the time. And it's not just them. Any company that goes public, the um, uh, focus, I suppose, shifts from customer satisfaction and quality consumer goods to pleasing the investors. And if you're not talking about consumer goods, maybe it's entertainment. Let's look at something like pro wrestling. I've talked about it here before, and I know there's a few fans in here. There are things that were done, for example, in the WWE in the Attitude Era that would never fly now. They can't fly now because they're answerable to huge um, companies and networks like NBC and Fox, as well as now a board of investors. So they don't have the freedom that they once did. It's the same with everything else because you have those other demands. I don't necessarily think going public is always. I understand how it opens up more funds and more liquidity in finances, but I don't think it's necessarily the way to go if it takes the focus off of pleasing fans or consumers, because that eventually is not going to be a recipe for success. So while I do think that the um, company needs new ideas and a fresh direction, and somebody who quite honestly will look internally at the company and make those hard choices rather than just having incessant price hikes, I am very saddened to hear this news this week. It is a shame. Brian Goldner passing at the age of 58, far too young, and I'm sure he had much more to offer those that were in his life in the years to come. So really a loss for humanity, a loss for many fans who did certainly see him as a leader. Certainly a loss to that company. Not what you like to hear. A moment of silence was the absolute least we could do. In the days and weeks and months ahead that unfold, hopefully we will be able to see somebody else come and take that leadership role, and hopefully they will be dynamic, and hopefully we will see brighter days ahead for all. But my absolute deepest condolences to his family, his friends, his co-workers that cared about him deeply. That is our seriousness. I did want to address it because I felt like it had to be where I have been so critical for so long. There's a matter of human decency and respect that goes along with things here. Okay, so let's get into some of our more jovial news. We'll say some of our more upbeat things, because we did have a lot of other things this week that happened. It has been quite an emotional roller coaster of a week, man. So Diamond Select showed off wave 2 of their miniatures at apparently New York Comic Con. I didn't even know there was an NYCC going on. But apparently they were showing them off. They showed their Grimlock, their Megatron, their Blaster, and their Soundwave. They look neat. They look fine. I've heard some people say that they feel like some of the coloration on them is dark. I didn't find that. I think that they look fine. They're not for me, but if you like miniatures, maybe the Diamond Select ones are for you. We did see some of Wave 1 with, I think, Optimus, Shockwave, Starscream, and Bumblebee. And the Bumblebee has the visor and the faceplate because it's like the G1 toy rather than the G1 animation. I don't find them dark. I find them metallic. I think they look good. Honestly, they're just not for me. A little super deformed. Not my thing, but I know that there's a big following for it. So cool, I guess. We saw the Funko Pop tracks. I think that's kind of neat. The thing that's on his like back with the two like missile pods, I guess that's usually up over the top of his head. If you look at the back of that, they're still there. It's just they're down behind his great big noggin. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks neat. I'm not a Funko Pop guy, but I know again 1 billion people in the world are. So if you are, this is neat. It looks good. It's a good looking tracks. What else do we have here? 3-0 showed off their M Deluxe Optimus Prime. Looks very cool, very neat. Little too stylized for my taste. I wish the biceps were also red, and the brow of the head looked more movie inspired to me than G1, even though apparently it's not an homage to any movie. It's supposed to be a stylized homage to G1. Some people have said that they see hints of Studio Ox in it. I don't really see hints of Studio Ox in it, but if you do, cool. Do I think he'll fit in with the Megatron that is also highly stylized? The Bumblebee, who I think has a little bit too much yellow. And the Rodimus, yes, he absolutely will. If you're in for that aesthetic, this Optimus is going to be really good and a great addition at a more reasonable price for something that's made very well. Doesn't transform, hyper articulated. 3-0 is not my thing, but man, do I respect what they do, and do I see the high-end value of it? Absolutely. We saw more of the train bots, some images. He's long. In train mode, the Shuki is real long. Rumor time, evidently, and this came through apparently, one of the, I think, newsies of TFW contacting Takara, and a representative from Takara answered this, evidently, saying that the Trainbot Combiner Raiden was going to be 11.5 inches, which would fall in line with Combiner Wars. Now, I have also heard a rumor saying that the Trainbot Combiner combined would actually be about the height of Titan Devastator. So I don't know which it is. I mean, I don't know if there was a breakdown in translation or anything with the representative. Maybe the Trainbots together as Raiden will be 11.5. Maybe one member is 11.5. I don't know. I think it's a very interesting thing. I would venture to say, if it's true, if it's, a foot tall and it fits in with, say, Siege Jetfire and the other combiners, then that makes sense to me. But why it's being sold as a masterpiece doesn't. For that size, it should be mainline, I would think. Maybe the engineering is just too much to make it mainline. I feel like a lot of masterpiece collectors won't be in for that. I feel like they're going to say that's far, far, far too small. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an MP collector. I don't know. But I have heard that we're looking at, I think it's about 220 Canadian, 161 US for one member. By the time you're all done with all 6 members, I mean, you're looking at about $1,000. That's a lot of money for something that's only the size of a main line. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for Takara. Honestly, I'm really not sure. In looking at it, it looks okay. There's a lot of kibble on it to me. A lot of kibble. And I'm just going to say, I think that the Moon Studio one looks better. It looks cleaner. I'm sure it's bigger. It might be more MP scale. I'm not sure where it's going yet. I'm watching it, though, because I'm very interested in it. But I'm not sure where this is going yet. We're going to circle back to the next bit of news. There's not a lot of news this week, actually. Well, there's not a lot of news, but what we had was very, very significant. Tigatron reissue apparently coming. There's been a listing that's found. I like the original Tigatron. It's only deluxe size, arguably too small. I did a review on mine, which I custom painted a couple of years ago. Speaking of Tigatron, the Kingdom one has been spotted in Malaysia. I'm in for the Kingdom one. I think, here's the thing. I've said all along that I didn't like the Kingdom Cheetor mold, and I don't like the Kingdom Cheetor mold. I like the engineering. I think the engineering is fine. I think it's interesting, but they thinned the plastic just too much that it's unworkable. With similar engineering with Tigatron, it might be okay at a bigger size. Time will tell, but he looks good. He looks great. At least to me, he does. What else do we have? Rise of the Beast. Some news about Rise of the Beast. So we saw some images of a chase scene. They just came out today. We have seen some pictures of a number of the characters. The most interesting thing, however, was the grill of presumably Scourge with the Autobot and Decepticon badges on there. But that's not all that's on there. There are other badges on there. I couldn't pick out what they were, though. Our very own Caldeo, I was talking to him a little bit about it, and he seems to think that there's some mercenaries on there. I didn't see it, but not saying that there's not. He seemed to also think that there is a Wrecker's insignia on there. I didn't see it. The insignia that is his hood ornament, I still think bears a certain striking resemblance to Unicron. And I think it'll be a Terracon logo. And I know it's not Unicron's logo, but I could see like an adjustment being made, especially if they're looking to have that be like a surprise that the Terracons serve Unicron. I'm not even saying that's what's going to happen, but I could believe it based on the insignia that Scourge has as a hood ornament, as well as that orange truck that also has the same insignia. It's definitely Terracon insignia. So some interesting stuff coming out of there. I would venture to say that what they're filming now may very well be the main climax to this movie. But again, time will tell. It's interesting to see the images, to see the cars, and see them in action. I'll say that. What else do we have? Road Rage is out in the US, as is Ultra Class Cyberverse Sludge. And in Canada, the Origins Bumblebee has been spotted at some Toys R Us. Pretty late to the party, but have been spotted at some Toys R Us. What else do we have here? The Hall of Fame is up. I have not yet voted, but I find the Hall of Fame this year very interesting. Who is your favorite character from Beast Wars Season 1? I'm going to call it now. Because we've already done a top 10, fan-voted top 10 of the of people's favorite Beast Wars characters, and by far, easily, head and shoulders above everybody else, with, I believe at the time it was the most votes that any number one had ever gotten. Dinobot took it. I'm going to put dollars to donuts right now, right here, and say that this year's Hall of Fame inductee is going to be Dinobot. And I'm going to say that the War for Cybertron Kingdom figure that's going to make the Hall of Fame, for me, I look at everything we've had in Kingdom, and while we've had some really strong stuff, we've had some that were carryovers from last year and reissued that way. I think Cyclonus is going to take it. I really think, in terms of Kingdom, I think Cyclonus is going to take it. I think Dinobot and Cyclonus will be who's going in. Again, time will tell, but that's where my vote's going, man. That's where my vote's going. I already talked about the late, great Brian Goldner. For those of you who weren't here for that, I had that serious discussion at the beginning of things. Very sad turn events this week for anybody who knew him and for his family. Nobody likes to hear that. 58 is far too young. Far, far, far too young. I'm 43, man. And I'm going to tell you now, when I started, not a funny fact, but interesting fact. When I started teaching originally, I was 28. And typically here, it's kind of a 30 and out policy. So I've sort of always eyeballed 58 as a retirement age or thereabouts. Not saying that I wouldn't go further than that. I might continue on for a little while. But it's always been like kind of a goal number. So when I hear something like this, I think to myself, like, that's an age and that's a number that I've eyeballed for a long time. And I kind of this year have resolved myself as like, I'm, mid-career, man. So like I'm eyeballing it. And when I hear something like this, it kind of strikes a little too close to home. You know what I mean? The rating size, we also already talked about. Super 7, just before I went on here, they showed their latest reaction wave, which is wave 5. It is Grimlock in Dino mode. He looks adorable. But I don't know if it almost looks like, I don't want to say stylized Grimlock, but it looks a little too cutesy to me. The RC, I'm not impressed with. I feel like the RC could look better. The reflector looks phenomenal, and the prowl looks phenomenal. Again, very simple. I think it's 5 points of articulation. They don't transform. This is for someone who wants something that's hyper cartoon accurate to put on the shelf and look glorious. And it'll do that. It'll absolutely do that. I'm not a Super 7 guy. They're tiny. They're all the same size. It's not for me, but it's obviously for someone because they keep going with it, man. I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we're going to do trivia, though we do have one piece of news left. The funding of Haslab Victory Saber. Did I back it or not? And how do I feel about it? That's what we're going to sort of end the show with tonight. But we'll go and see what you guys are saying. I knew it was going to be a small one tonight. I knew it was going to be a small show tonight because I don't have an unboxing. Let's go up here. Let's go up here now and check in with you guys. How far up do I have to go here? Let's see. So I go down here a little bit. Hey, John J. I'm going to call you John J. Hey, John J. As we go down here. Triptychon, Brian's return Triptychon to be precise. You got Triptychon, Manitoba? Is that what you're saying? I love Triptychon. A lot of people give him some flack, but I think Triptychon's great. I love the guy. Do I predict we will see a new Legacy Combiner Predaking? No. Why would we get a new Predaking? We got the Titan in 2018. It's like 3 years later. Not a chance. Not a chance. That being said, my Predaking right now is the Unique Toys Warlord, and I'd be in for an updated Predaking at the Combiner War size. Somebody do that. Somebody do one at the Combiner War size for me that's a little more solid. I love the Unique Toys Warlord, but he is a little difficult to animate because he does get like back heavy and stuff. I love the guy, but so do I think we're gonna get a new Predaking combiner? No, I don't think we should get any combiners. We got them. We got them within the last 10 years, but we got them within the last 6 years. But in fact, I just finished mine like this past year. I'm not in for any combiners. Like, I'm totally planning to skip the Menosaur. The only chance he has of grabbing my interest in the least is if he is Combiner War size. If he's not Combiner War size, I'm 100% out. If he is, maybe, because the Menosaur was rough. May he rest in peace. Absolutely. Let's see. CEO's daughter voiced RID 2015 Cyber Warp in the last, I don't even remember. You know what? Fun fact, Blue. Would you believe that I never did see the last episode of Cyberverse? I had the whole series, saw the whole series. I even had it all recorded, and somehow, some way, missed the last episode. I don't know how Cyberverse ends. Never saw it. Hey, Warren. Larkins just got delivered. I don't know what he means by that, but okay. 29 centimeters for MPG Raiden. I'm in for is worth for the next one reveal after 3 or 4 months. It's pricey, man, to be in for that. I don't see the value. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I look at that Shuki and I think $40. It's good for $40. I don't see 161 US value. I look at it and I see $40. It looks like a Voyager. Hope you're doing well. I cleared off a shelf to make room for more Transformers. I hear that, Ronus. I hear that, buddy. Story of my life. Let's hope the new CEO, will be a Sentinel Prime to the fans. I don't get the reference, but okay. It's going good, Big M. Thanksgiving was great. By the way, happy belated Thanksgiving to our Canadian friends here. Ours was great. It was sort of low key. On Monday, we actually went. I haven't done a GotBot Goes to the movies in a long time because we hadn't gone to the movies. We went and saw Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, Starscream's wife was like, it's okay. I really enjoyed it. I like Woody Harrelson. I love Carnage as a villain. I've always been a huge Venom fan. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun ride. I think that the hour 37 running time is the right length. I think that's the right running time for that film. And I loved the post-credit scene. I actually dropped my jaw. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But yeah, if you like Venom, if you like Carnage, if you like comics and superheroes and Marvel, worth it. Worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch. And of course, we had our turkey dinner. And we actually on Saturday went out with my father and had a meal. And in the morning, Starscream wife's father was out. So we saw a lot of our family the weekend. It was nice. It was a nice weekend. I really enjoyed it. Brazil is based on the character from Soul Reaver. Interesting. You did a custom of that input? Really? That'd be interesting. As a seeker? That would be an interesting one. I haven't seen that one. Hey, Keldeo, speak of the devil. I was talking about Keldeo earlier. I've got an SS Jazz and Nye yesterday, and I'm being very careful with the Jazz. Right? The Jazz is great, but he does feel delicate. California approved boy and girl toy aisles, so don't be surprised. You'll see My Little Pony. I don't see, like, Blue, you brought this up to me. Who cares? Who cares? Heads up, everyone. California approved boy and girl toy aisles, so don't be surprised if you see My Little Pony across from Transformers or G.I. Joe. I got news for you. That's always been like that, at least here. Like, literally, when I stand in the aisle where Transformers are, literally behind me is Barbie. I don't see what your problem is. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the issue is. Let kids be kids and play with what they want to play with. Let collectors be collectors, because guess what? We're going to go straight to the section that applies to us. And we don't really care about anything else. I don't see this as news. I don't see why you keep bringing it up. It's non-news. Stop it. Let it go, man. Let it go. It's not the hill. It's not the hill you want to die on, man. MP combiners need to be in scale with Zeta. I 100% agree. Did I talk about Fat Optimus, or was that last week? He comes with that stand that comes with all the pieces to make 2 stands. I don't even know what you're talking about, Runus. So I don't know what you're talking about. They have to deal with that small MP trainbot combiner because it's like asking for an MP scale accurate Unicron. Oh, Keldeo, you're so true. You're right, man. You're a smart cookie, buddy. I totally agree. Love how the first train looks, but it's too expensive. Yeah, I love it too. I want a Raiden, but I'm not interested in spending $200 a pop for each member for something that's only the size of my Combiner Wars that altogether I spent $120 on. Sorry. Blade Allspark. I love your name, man. From Portugal. Nice. Well, thank you for coming in. It got to be late there for you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yep, Big Cat back on the shelves, man. And I love the original. I know. It was just Cheetor, but I love the original Cheetor too, honestly. I've been waiting for him for a while. Let's hope Mainline gets a Raiden. Me too. Fingers crossed, Lee. And Road Caesar. I want a Road Caesar too. I've been watching the Victory Star dub, so I want a Road Caesar too, man. I'm totally in for it. As much as I would love the hell out of getting those MP train bots, a bit out of the acceptable price range, agreed. I swear those badges are a kill stroke. Oh, they absolutely are, Manitoba. That's exactly what they are. They're trophies, right? They're trophies for him on Scourge's grill. Absolutely. Keldeo just added that he spots what he thinks is the elite guard symbol. I mean, maybe. I didn't see it. I did see what looks like the pirate one, though, from a couple of years back. And you know what? Maybe all of these are on there. Like, I'm not even going to say that they're not, because I didn't pick it out the same. I'm going to vote for the cats. That's fair. You can certainly vote for the cats. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I wouldn't vote for the cats, but if that's what you want to do, go for it. If I could vote, I would. If you could vote, you can vote. Just go to the link and vote, Keldeo. Why can't you vote? Dinobot, I kind of enjoy Rat Trap. Rat Trap would be able to put a good push on too. I don't think the Ark is going to get the nod for going into the Hall of Fame. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Ark is going to be the thing to get the nod. I'll go for Inferno. I love the Inferno too. I just feel like the Cyclonus is pretty much perfect. Spoiler, when we do the top 10 of 2021, it's a good chance that Cyclonus is going to be well up there. Lost power for a bit. That's no good. Hey, Joe. Joe in here. I am honored. Did I end up getting Victory Saber? Well, let's talk about that, Joe, because that's exactly where we're going almost next. We're going to do the trivia first, then I'm going to answer that exact question. Hey, Ethan. Hey, DW. I don't care where the stores place their toys as long as I actually find what I'm looking for. Yes, sir. You could put it in the women's brassieres if you want. If that's where I can go and I can find me a slammer and a pipes, then I'll be a happy camper. Cyclones is awesome. Absolutely. Okay, so let's do trivia and then we're going to answer Joe's question. The trivia brought to us by our buddy Dragonfly, who I believe had a doctor's appointment today, if I'm not mistaken. And we're wishing him well because we all know he has been having some health issues as of late. So let's hope everything goes well there. This is thanks to him. Here it is. Listening, you're ready? You playing trivia tonight?
What?
Are you playing trivia?
Yeah, sure.
All right. On Nightmare Planet, one Predacon was damaged and unable to form Predaking at the end of the episode. Which Predacon was damaged? Was it Tantrum, who forms one of the legs? Was it Dive Bomb, who forms really the backpack and an arm? Was it Razor Claw, who forms the body? Was it Rampage, who forms another arm? Or was it Headstrong, who forms another leg? A, B, C, D, or E. So was it
C?
You're saying C, she's saying C, which would be...
I don't know.
She doesn't know, so she's saying C and Razor Claw. She's saying C and Razor Claw. Of course, input goes with H. We have Bedford saying Headstrong. Blue saying Rampage with a question mark. Let's see. Ooh, I think people are stumped here. B, B, D, E. A lot of people unsure. Hey, Alexander. Alexander says E. Go back here a little bit. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is, hey, Triple R. Triple R says E. What was the question again? I'm going to repeat it for Ninja Bill before I give the answer. On Nightmare Planet, one of the Predacons was damaged and unable to form Predaking at the end of the episode. Who was the damaged Predacon? Was it A, Tantrum, B, Dive Bomb, C, Razor Claw, that was Starscream Wife's vote, D, Rampage, or E, Headstrong? Shanti saying Headstrong, going with Dennis's answer. Dennis doesn't have an answer. Ninja Bill says A. The answer is D, Headstrong, or sorry, E, Headstrong. It is E, Headstrong. He had a damaged leg and was unable to combine. So it was Headstrong. Okay, let's talk about Haslab Victory Saber. So I had some of my facts last week misconstrued, as a matter of fact. So I made sure to do my homework this week. And through the week, we watched. It was a good question, Ken. You're right. Through the week, we watched the numbers go up. Was it going to hit the tiers and whatnot? And I said to you last week, it's going to hit all three. In my clip for today, in the lead up for the show, I said it's going to hit all three. And I believed it was going to hit all three. And I've been saying since day one that for $179.99 US, without the tiers, I do not see the value. Now, I didn't think it was as egregious as the Unicron, which I am baffled why anybody backed that thing. But that's a whole debate. It's done. It's over. Water under the bridge. It happened. It is what it is. If you backed the Unicron and you got it and you're happy, good. I'm happy for you. To this one, I said that they learned from mistakes of the past. Right away, it made it more open globally, not necessarily through Haslab, but through online retailers so that more international markets could order through them. I don't know what those prices are because the Haslab price was the one that would apply to Canada. So I watched the numbers go up, and people ask me every day if I backed it. No, man, I did not back it because we didn't have the tiers. And I said that was the only chance of backing it. We hit the first one. And I said, okay, last week we hit the first one. I said, let's go to the second one. It's the stand. I'm only kind of about the stand, but I was like, you know what? It is value. It is extra plastic. It is extra mass. I get it. And we hit that. And then I said, okay, so now we've hit 2 out of 3. Now things are getting interesting because now I'm starting to see more of the value there. Are we going to get to that third one? And I watched. And people asked me over the weekend, man. They asked me over the weekend on Saturday, do you have it backed? Nope. On Sunday, do you have it backed? And I was like, nope. Early in the day, I was certainly nope. And I was watching the numbers, and we got to 19.5, and then 19.8, and then it hit the 20,000. And I was like, wow, there you go. They cut it close. I don't think any of it's legit. I think it's about as legit as wrestling. It's not. It's all a game, right? Let's be realistic here. Does anybody here actually believe any of that's legit? Because you get these jumps of like thousands, and I get it like, oh, that's international orders, and that's this one, blah, blah, blah. They control the website. They can go in and change the number to anything they want. Why they waited so late to put it to 20,000, I don't know. I think they would have even had more had they just included all three tiers right away early on and said, here's the added value, man. Go have at it. But they didn't. It concluded with 27,300, one of the most, if not the most successful Haslab project to date. I think it was the most successful because it was more reasonably priced for what you're getting. And here is the math. Let's break it down to numbers, because this is what I did. A lot of people buy things and order things and pre-order things and back things based on going with their heart, man. Not me. You guys know me. I'm an analyst, right? So certain things I could only approximate. I looked at the American price, and I ended up having to do the conversion to Canadian. It came out to be about 300 Canadian by the time you did the conversion, roughly. So I said, okay, is that value here? So let's begin. I'm going to use kind of Canadian prices here and American prices as we go through. Stick with me. Very first thing to note is that we have a stand. I'm going to equate the stand to about $30 Canadian, say about $20 US. And I've done that based on online searches for similar like figure stands, transformer stands, and what they go for, what their prices go for. So I'm going to say about 30 Canadian, about 20 US. Then we have the V cannon. The V cannon is an accessory. It is one piece. I'm giving that about $20 US, about $25 Canadian. Cool. So far in the US, we have about $50 worth of value. In Canada, we have about 30, 40, about $55, $60 worth of value. And those are approximations because I don't know their mass. I don't know how much molding has gone into it. So those admittedly are a bit like approximate, right? I'm giving credit to them based on doing online searches of online retailers for similar products. Make sense? We'll keep going. Then we have Star Saber. Now, I was under the impression that Star Saber was smaller than he is. The Saber figure is 5.5. It's a deluxe. With Star Saber, it is more like traditional leader. A leader here in Canada is 80, in the US is 50. So in the US, we already had $50 worth of value. Now we have $100 worth of value if we put the Star Saber in. In Canada, we had $60 worth of value. We're putting another 80 on it, right? 60 plus 80, 140. That's where we're to. 140 in Canada, building to 300. 100 in the US, building to 179.99. Then we have the what do we have next? Where am I? Why did I lose this? Victory Leo. Victory Leo is 7.5. Large Voyager. So I equated him in Canada with a value of about $45, maybe even $47, because he's a large, like traditional Voyager. And in the US, I would equate him with $30. So now in the US, we have $130 worth of value. And in Canada, we now have from our 140, another 45 or so. So we're up to what? 185, 187. Let's round off, say 190, just because I'm generous. 130 in the US to 179, 190 in Canada to 300. Then we have now the shield. I'm going to say that the shield is a significant large piece of plastic. I'm going to give that a value of what value did I give that? Hold on. I'm just trying to find the shield. I gave that a value of another $25, 20 US. So we were at 30, now 40, 50 US. And in Canada, we're at 90. And now with, the extra, we're at about 220 Canadian, going to 300, remember. And then we have the MicroMasters, which this isn't red hot or red heat. This is fire. It's going to be this guy, except the blue is going to be lighter and the white is going to be like a baby blue. It's this guy. And this guy, Stakeout, who is actually holy, or if you prefer, Fix It. Those who get it will know what I mean. These in Canada were $15. In the US, 10. So in the US now we're at 150. We're going to 160 worth of value. In Canada, we were at 220, 235 worth of value, we'll say. I would venture to say to you that the final price, and some of those numbers admittedly are a bit mishmash. And they're a bit mishmash because things like the, I forgot about the blast effects too. I'm going to give the blast effects a value of about $10. So about 170 in the US. I'm going to give them, about $5 in the US. So about 165 in the US, and about now in Canada, we were at 235, about, 245 or so. I would venture to say to you this: that's a lot of math. Some of it is, the going price for a Voyager, the going price for a Leader. Some of it is based on market research of comparable products, and a couple of things there is guesswork based on value that I would ascribe to it based on what value has been in the past. In both cases, on the average, I would say that the price is about $20, maybe $30 over what I would like for it to be. I look at that and say, well, maybe that accounts for some shipping. When it hit and I've done the math, I said, you know what? I feel like it's slightly higher than I'd like to pay. But I also acknowledge that this is the cheapest Star Saber that we've gotten. And if you get the third-party Victory Leo to combine with the Masterpiece Star Saber, that's significantly more expensive. And combined, this guy will be about the height of a Combiner Wars Combiner. That's the height that Star Saber should basically be. Because if you know Victory, then he's about the height of like Lio Kaiser and say Dino King. So it's about the size he should be, roughly. I look at it and I say, you know what? I think the value's there. I actually did back it. I did. Because it reached all three tiers. Because I could do the math and see where the value is. I couldn't do that with Unicron. Couldn't do the math, couldn't see the value any way I cut it. Wasn't coming up anywhere close. For me, it's all about the analysis. Now, how do I feel about it? A lot of people are really happy about it. They're excited about it. And you know what? I want a Victory Leo and I want a Star Saber as much as anybody else, especially because I have Optimus Prime. I have Atlas. I have Star Convoy. I have Rodimus Prime. I have Fort Max. I have all of the Autobot leaders in that lineage, except for Star Saber. But here's the thing. People are really excited about it. I'm not. I feel dirty about it. I feel sleazy about it. Not because I don't think the value is there. Not because I'm not looking forward to it. But because I don't support crowdfunding a multi-billion-dollar company. That's bad business, and it doesn't leave me with a good taste in my mouth. I hope this is going to be an interesting ride. I hope when I get this, I will be impressed enough to say, you know what? I was totally wrong. I totally get it. My fear is that I'm going to get this and just resent it because of the business that was used to offer it. I think it should just go out, just be in the market, and anybody can get it. I think the value is there. I think it looks cool. I don't like the way it's being offered. And unfortunately, that's the only way it was being offered. That's my take on that. Let me check in with you guys. I know that there was a lot. Man, I went into some deep stuff there, hey? So I did back it. But it's not as simple as that because I backed it, but I'm not feeling good about it, man. I'm not. It's backed. It's paid. It's done deal, right? It's, it's all said, done, sealed, and delivered. I'm just waiting for the box to come, right? And yeah, I don't know. I don't have that same feeling as I felt more joy of finding, say, Cyclonus on a store shelf than I have with this. take it for what you will. Let's see. As we go up here. Of course, it was going to hit all three. That's what I said, right, Ninja Bill? Funny question for you. Is Worth for you? No. I don't like anything from Fans Toys. I don't think it's particularly well made, Gabriel, to be honest with you. It looks good, but I've never been impressed with anything from them. I just got on a computer, got home. Hey, just got in Dragonfly. Hasbro already made the molds, and they didn't want to lose money. It was going to hit the 20K no matter what. That's right. Input said it right there. Input said it right there. Because it's Unicron, I guess. That ain't a reason. That ain't reason enough for me. Haslab Hasbro magic number show up. Yes, absolutely. John J, I backed it. I'm excited for the release. I just haven't decided if I'm going to keep him in box or actually. If you're paying this and you're getting, don't ever keep anything in box, John J. Take everything out. Let it exist the way it's supposed to exist, brother. It's like gambling, and most of the time you get scammed. You lose. Starscream wife over there says you'll lose all the value. Yeah, but like, is he really gonna?
Who wants to keep it in the box?
I was gonna say, is he really gonna resell something that he got from like as a Haslab thing? People are crazy, but even so, honestly, I think that you'd still get the value for it. It's totally legit. Okay, Joe, it's totally legit. No, it's not. That's cute that you think that or that you've been told that, but no, it's not. You're never going to convince me that that's legit. No more legit than wrestling. That is a very naive thing to say, and I'm going to stand by it, Joe. I love you, man, but it's not legit. I didn't find it. I didn't fund it because I tried to ground myself off buying TS for a few months back.
My hair looks fabulous.
Your hair looks fabulous.
I'm not on camera tonight.
You're not on camera tonight. No, you're not. The eliminate perfect effects chance to improve. I guess. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. I did try to tell you in comments there are new close-up images of. Yeah, I looked at the grill actually, Caldillo. I just couldn't pick out what you picked out. Like there were things there that I didn't recognize what they were, but I didn't see anything that looked like the things that you said. Not to me, but I'm not going to say you're wrong or anything like that because they were a little blurry to me. And man, I'm an old man and my vision ain't the greatest, so you could very well be right. And actually, earlier I actually reported that you had said what you saw some of these other faction symbols. Maybe you did see them. I'm not going to say you didn't. I don't understand. He scaled difference in Saber and Leo. They were the same height. Oh, I don't understand the difference in that either, but I can accept it. Let's see. I was a little miffed about that. Think I'll stick with the G1 version. Yeah, it's certainly an option too. I like Holy in Transformers Victory. He's pretty cute and honorary Bumblebee during. Yeah, I don't need another Bumblebee. It's cool that there's so many Micromasters in Victory. Man, I try to equate the dollar values. I wanted to give you like the American take and the Canadian take. I mean, there's a big difference there, so I can't equate quite the same. And admittedly, the difference in Canada is a little bit more, but I also understand that to ship to me is more. And for some reason, they only use FedEx. I don't understand why. It's like they don't understand that Canada has other shipping options. Like, guys, there's lots of companies in Canada. There's UPS, there's Purolator, there's Canada Post. There's lots you can use. You don't have to use FedEx. Nothing against FedEx. It's just that they're expensive. Combiner Wars weren't that tall. That's right. They were the exact height that they should be. They are about half the height of a Titan. They're exactly the height they should be for a mainline collection. They're not meant to be MP or anything. So that's why I said like an MP train bot that's the size of the main line, I don't think it's going to fly. But Combiners were the ideal height. Devastator's far too big. He is he's close to the size of Metroplex. That's insane. Predaking, I couldn't even get behind. These are animals. Why are they this big? It made no sense. So yeah, I would say Combiner Wars ideal height. To each their own, but it's the perfect scale for a combiner. Or it's perfect scale for a combiner for a mainline collection. That's what I'll say. Even though the price of what? Cadmus, brand new. I don't know what Cadmus is. I'm sorry for Super Robot Ed. I don't know what that is. Hey, Nate. The Pan Star Saber looks pretty great too. I want a transformation video. I do too. And some of the value that I'm missing might be made up for in the paint. I haven't done it yet because I'm not sure what's actual color and what's actual paint. So I'm not quite there. Let's see. What do we have here? I'm definitely missing some stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm definitely missing some comments here. Okay, I think it was back. I think it was back here. Yeah, Nate said that the paint was pretty great. I agree. Can't stand the idea of the character. I don't know it because IDW is garbage. Crunching numbers to justify collecting, sign of the times. Well, no, here's the thing. I'm now working on an exit strategy, to be honest with you. Like, I have most of what I got, and I don't like the way prices are going. Unless the company's going to change course and not have price hikes anymore, like, I see my end game coming, right? Which will be kind of good because then I'll be able to do a lot more with the stop motion series. The IDW version was the only interesting one. I wouldn't know. I like the original Star Saber. I assume that's what you guys are talking about. I don't want him to be anything but heroic. He's a heroic swordsman. That's what I want. That's what I get with victory. Just go out and put in the market so anyone can get it. This simply, yes. Just put it out. Just put it out in the store. People will buy it. They vastly seem to underestimate what the collectors will buy if it's just there. And that's not to mention people that didn't have a credit card. There's a lot of people I know who said, I'd buy it, but I don't have credit cards. I got the money, but they don't take money. You need a credit card, so I can't buy it. That lost sale right there. It does feel icky when you think Hasbro got 4 million with interest. Their books are going to look good to investors. Exactly. That's gross. That's, yeah. Like, that's how it leaves me feeling, right? Yeah, you're right, Nexus, about the price, buddy. Let's see. I couldn't back it, unfortunately. Triple R didn't back it, see? Glad I could swing by and listen for a bit. I really hope you enjoy Star Saber. I hope I do, too. I'm nervous about how I feel about him, but I hope I do, too, man. You're not going to sell me on anything IDW. I'm not a fan of the company. Oh, Cadmus is one of the third-party Star Sabers, right? Okay, don't mind me. It's been a long day, man. I bought Haslab Victory Saber because I didn't have any Star Sabers in my collection. Honestly, that right there is a big part of it, right? Camels. We go down here a little bit. Starscream Wife pops in for a little bit. As I go down here. Am I freezing? No? Interesting, because I get a thing saying that the chat is unresponsive. Interesting. Yeah, it's going on, but I have a thing come up that says page unresponsive until it comes back, and then a bunch of stuff loads, and I miss a bunch of stuff. No, I missed all that. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's down there in the very bottom. Our boy, Blue Raccoon. I love Christmas, by the way. Starscream Wife is more Halloween. I adore Christmas. I canceled my Victory Saber order for the Ninja Turtles Power Rangers crossover figures. I have zero tie to Power Rangers. It was after my time. I don't even really know it that well. The turtles look cool, though. I'll give credit where credit is due. Just made the AVGN face. Really? Can't believe Leader Class Grindor. Oh, yeah. Dragonfly found Leader Class Grindor for $13. Like, that's a sweet deal. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone through all the news. You now know my thoughts about the happenings of the week. You now know that I backed Star Saber, but man, I don't feel the best about it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to spend some time with the wife. I haven't eaten my supper yet. I got to eat, guys. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you coming by. Some things here were a little bit in depth tonight. We've done some analysis, some food for thought, and that's it. That's it. Nothing to unbox this week. Feels weird not having an unboxing, doesn't it? But I still love you guys. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member, baby. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference. Remember what I said earlier. Everybody got somebody. And if you're sitting there saying you don't, yes, you do, man. You got me and you got Starscream Wife. I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby, inside the videos.